The time right now is 12:57 a.m. and it's Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. Trash. So I kind of been driving. I don't want that either. I kind of been driving since earlier on Saturday or whatever. I drove earlier in the day, Saturday, and then I was driving previously, Saturday night or whatever, and it's Sunday now. But this is what we trash. I don't want that one either. But they're giving me hella offers right now or whatever, and it's crazy, supposedly busy, as you guys can see. But as I said before, just because it says it's busy doesn't mean that it's good. It usually is busy with shit, right? But right now, we're kind of getting a little good shit. We're not getting bad shit, somewhat, but somewhere in the mix. It smells a little rosy right now. It smells a little bit rosy, even though shit stinks. Like this stinks right there, but some of the rates were looking a little rosy. I did do two just a while ago. Let me see, I could go here for earnings, see details. Yeah, here's Saturday. I don't want that one either. See earnings. I just did this Pizza Hut one right here. It's supposed to be paying me $11, and it's only supposed to be for 3 miles, so exactly what I want. On's Kitchen. Actually, I can take that. And then I did another one. It was from a restaurant on 800 Forest Street. Well, if you're from Atlanta, you might know what I'm talking about. It's a multi-building restaurant or whatever. Has multiple restaurants in one building. It kind of operates like like one of the ghost food trucks or whatever. I don't even see those around here anymore. I don't know what happened to those at all, but they used to have like a whole bunch of the ghost food trucks around Atlanta, but I don't know if like there's some type of thing that they got rid of, like all the permits of having a food truck like that or whatever, or everybody that was operating a ghost truck wasn't following food safety protocols and all the trucks got shut down. I don't know, but I remember years ago there was like hella ghost food trucks all over Atlanta, and now there's none. So I don't know, but like I said, the 800 Forest Street restaurant operates just like how the ghost food trucks operate, but it's a brick and mortar building, and all the restaurants kind of coordinate in one building, and then you can order, like I said, different foods and stuff like that. But yeah, I did that order a while ago. I think that was paying me $14 for 4 miles or something like that. And then this one is, damn, how much was this one paying? Like how I said on my last video, I be forgetting shit so quickly. It's so sad sometimes. But it seems as though that we might actually make some money tonight. And I did do some Uber trips earlier on Saturday, earlier in the afternoon or whatever, and I couldn't do anything later in the afternoon. But no, I actually did it in the morning time. I actually was out in the morning time Saturday, not early afternoon, because I didn't do anything in the afternoon because I had a lot of stuff to do in the afternoon, plus I was tired and shit. So, but it was early in the morning and it was raining outside or whatever, and it was crazy busy. They had some type of event going on out in like the Georgia World Congress Center. Had some type of event or whatever earlier this morning, or earlier Saturday morning. I don't know what all was going on, but it was pretty busy. The rates were pretty decent, but then it was starting to rain out, and I work in the rain a lot of times because the rates would be better, but the rates were straight trash, and they were expecting me to get out of my car and get my car wet, and I'm getting wet and shit, and I was like, no, no. There's a certain point where your risk to risk to whatever reward ratio is just not acceptable at all. Like the risk of being too wet in the rain, and then the money that I was getting, and you know, just my car getting away and shit, that was too much risk for me. So I was like, you know what, no, I'm not about to do that at all. So I stopped earlier in the morning or whatever and had to do some other stuff, like I said, and I went to sleep or whatever and had to do some other stuff throughout the day. But that's what I'm kind of doing right now. I haven't done anything on DoorDash. No, I actually did do something on DoorDash earlier this morning too, which is actually pretty simple. It was a Walgreens order, and they just wanted some chargers, or a charger, like a charger block and then a cable. And I don't know, some people that be ordering convenient stuff like that from convenience stores, you know, they just must be loaded with just hella money or whatever, or those credit cards must never max out. Them shits must be like the Amex black card or the gold card or whatever card that just that never declines. Whatever card that never declines, you can't max that shit out. Because like I said, like some of the stuff there, I'm like, damn, you can easily get this stuff at like Walmart, maybe even Target for way less a lot of the times or whatever, you know. I just like to look for like deals, and you know, a lot of times from convenience stores, the deals are just not there at all. And that's my biggest gripe, where you know, convenience versus, you know, having something that's not as convenient, you know, where it affects the price. And you know, where I speak about how getting your food delivered to you is a convenience, so you're gonna have to pay more for that to kind of work for you, versus you paying to order your food and then you picking up your order. You know, that's less convenient, but you know, it'll work more in your favor because it's less expensive, you know. So it's just something to think about. Like I said, again, when it comes to convenience and stuff, like how I've been preaching about how, you know, we can possibly make better decisions if we know how convenience works versus non-convenience works. You know, just two differences there. But yeah, so we're gonna pick up this An's order, or An's order. I don't know how to really pronounce that name, but I think it's An's, I think so, or An's, I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna pick up this order and then you know, see what else the night gives me. The time right now is 1:28 a.m. and it's Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. I just finished that An's Kitchen, or An's Kitchen, whatever, however you guys pronounce that restaurant's name. I just finished dropping that order off, and yeah, pretty simple, pretty easy. Getting some other trash trips, but like, this is trash. $10 for 10 miles, that's way too far to go for, that's just unacceptable. But they're throwing out money right now, you know. And this is what I was saying also before, is like, they pick and choose random days. Like, I don't know how the money just randomly, I don't want this one either. I don't know how randomly the money just decides to appear out of nowhere, as if there was no money, no day out the week. Like, it's not even Valentine's Day or whatever. It's just a regular Saturday night into Sunday morning or whatever. Valentine's Day, I mean, not Valentine's Day, but Valentine's Day, I don't even work Valentine's Day, so I don't even know how that even works. But I don't even know, I haven't even worked Valentine's Day in years. But it's not, it's just a regular day or whatever. It's not a holiday at all, from what I understand. No, $6 for a mile, I'm not doing that either. There's at a certain point where when it's super super busy or whatever, and you're still paying low rates like that, I'm not picking up that order at all, because you can possibly pay more. We're paying more to get things done right now because it's super busy. This is that opportunity cost, risk for reward type thing, where when you do your assessment, you know, what's your risk, what's your reward for doing things like that. This right here, the Buffalo Wild Wings, I really don't don't know. I'm gonna say no to that right now. It's an okay rate, but I'm gonna say no to it right now. I kind of don't want to go to Buffalo Wild Wings right now, so I'll get something else though. I'm gonna keep going around the city, right here to see if there's anything else besides straight trash trips. But Connie's Kitchen. I'm gonna say no to that right now. 20 for 16. That's way too far. So we're gonna decline that right there. That's for 2 people. That was for 2 people. No, they could pay more. I'll do it for like 30 something, $31, $32 or whatever. I'll do it for that amount. But for $20 for 16 miles for 2 customers, that's way too close to $1 a mile. And it's way too busy out here to be only trying to pay $1 a mile or whatever. Like close to $1 a mile, like hard 1.00 a mile. I can do like 175, 180, 190 or something like that, which would bring me to like that, $30, $31 price, maybe $28, $29 or whatever. But other than that, I cannot do nothing with something that's close to $1 a mile. I can't do that at all right now. But yeah, there was Iriman Cafe. I mean, they're paying, it's okay. I kind of want something more though. I'm kind of doing like the little small trips right now, but I don't want that at all. So you're decreasing the price on me. I don't know if you don't want that one, but I think that they could pay me more. I'm not trying to be greedy or whatever, but I think that based on doing this for so many years and the fact that whenever it's super, super busy out here and they're trying to throw money at you, they will definitely pay. $21 for 12 miles. Not right now. It's close. I would have taken it too. I would buy it for 24, but they're trying, but they're not doing good enough right now. They can do better. As you guys can see, they're trying to pay. They're finally trying to pay, but it's just they're not reaching my thresholds of whenever it's crazy busy out. And 13 for 6.5 is on Forestry also. I'm gonna say no to that right now. Decline this here if I can touch that. Okay, yeah, decline that right there. 19 for Forestry. $19 for 6.7 miles. That's for 2 people though. I'm gonna decline that one too. That one's $2. Yeah, this one's $2 a mile for this Papa John's order. But that's taking me out my zone for right now. I don't want to do that right now. It's decent. Like I said, they're trying to pay. They're gonna get there. I believe in them. So they're gonna get there. If they want to work with me, I'm gonna say no to that right now too. If they want to work with me, they're gonna get there. And this is how you kind of train the algorithm to say, you know what? I actually want the prices to increase. I actually want to do less work and get a little bit more money, instead of doing, the work that I'm doing is kind of gonna take me a little while to get to my end goal slower. So if I were to have a customer that would pay me more to kind of increase the my opportunity, then I would be very appreciative of that, but like I said, it just takes a little bit of time and training the algorithm with how you want to be paid, and it takes a little while. The good trips are usually at the back of the queue. just gotta kind of just be patient and wait and kind of like hope, a lot of hope, because it's like a video game, honestly, a lot of times, like or like gambling in a way. It's sad to say that, but it's like gambling. But it's like you gotta have hope, and you gotta like just honestly just hope, honestly, for real, like that you roll a nice 7, you know, or you know, whatever, you know, you get the jackpot, whatever it is, you know, you gotta just hope that you know, get something good. But yeah, honestly, that's all I can say for now. That's, like I said, that's all I'm doing. I'm just scoping out the area out here. I might leave this area. Honestly, I don't want that one either. Cause like I said, they're throwing out orders like crazy right now, and I need to cherry pick, but I'm trying to cherry pick better orders right now that I want to do. That, like I said, I'm trying to do less work, but also get to my goal a lot faster. Because one of the things that I did speak about in my previous videos years ago was, you know, getting your money and getting off the road. You know, this is not, you know, stay on the road all day, every day, pretty much. You know, you can meet people. You know, it's cool to be social and stuff like that, but at the same time, you know, the wear and tear on your car, and you know, different, like I said, different risk factors of being out, and you know, people causing accidents. You know, it's just that risk and reward type thing where, you know, just get your money and get off the road. Like I said, be social. You know, learn new things, get to know new people and stuff. But like I said, get your money and get off the road. You know, that's how I play the game. That's not good enough for me. They could do a little bit better. Yeah, I'm currently like near the hotspots, but the hotspots don't really matter for real, because you could be in the hotspot zone or whatever, and you know, they don't send you anything or whatever. The hotspots are just what I want to say, like recommendations, or definitely not. I don't go to Popeyes at all, but the hotspots are almost like opinions or whatever, or like where the app thinks the orders are going to be coming from. But a lot of times they're not hotspots at all. Like, what's this one right here? This one is, nope, not doing that one either. That's dancing. Okay, so yeah, this hotspot right here is Buffalo Wild Wings. And okay, now this is what I'm talking about right here. If they want to pay you, they'll pay you. This is what I'm saying. Like, wait, you know, and I understand that you know, not every market is the same, but I'm trying to, you know, this is just me showing you guys that I'm declining this shit, because every time literally that they pay like this, where they're just shoving orders down your, you know, down your screen or whatever, like there's money here. So you have to teach the algorithm to want to pay you, instead of taking the little, you know, scraps here, scraps there, to kind of try to build your money or whatever and stuff like that. Like I said, there's money here in the apps or whatever, and you just gotta, like I said, you just gotta show the apps that you want to get paid, and that's what I'm doing now. And like you guys seen, it's $31 for 9 miles, so that's actually, yeah, $3 a mile, honestly. And also, like how I said before, I mean, we're in a imperfect world, so I think that one of the customers is paying a lot more because it is a double order or whatever, like it's grouped, you know. But I'll do grouped orders like this, you know. That's fine, you know. All the other ones are straight trash, and I don't like those. But grouped orders like these, you know, I'm cool with it, you know. Like I said, but But my biggest thing right now is just showing you guys that in Atlanta's market. I can't really speak for all the other markets and all that stuff because I know that all the other ones they're different. Every market's different. Everybody's screen is not going to show the same offers at the same time at the same price and stuff. So there's a lot of different factors and stuff that go into this. But like I said, if your market, if you know your market and you know your market is busy and you know your market is showing you some money, there is money there. You just have to kind of wait it and play it out, because like I said, this is what happens every single time that I play it out. They pay me. I just have to wait or whatever. But you know, as long as the order is there or whatever, and you know this shit hasn't been stolen, but there is money there, and that's my biggest thing. So what I'm gonna do, it's a double order, or it's actually 2 orders from 2 different places. It looks like. Hold on, I gotta move that out the way. So, and this is, oh, they're both from Forestry. Okay. So they're both from the same place then. But okay, that's fine. Yeah, so I mean it should be pretty simple then. Yeah, let me go ahead and pick up this order or whatever, and then or these orders or whatever, and I'll get back with you guys later. The time right now is 3:17 a.m. and it's Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. So I finished doing those 2 orders from 800 Forest Street, but here's the kicker. That's how much I have right now. But the craziest part is that I decided to and after I finished that 800 Forest Street drop-offs, which were pretty easy, and they were actually pretty close to each other, I took an order that I normally wouldn't have taken, and that was this order here at Popeyes, which is one of my blacklisted restaurants. But I decided to take a chance or whatever on it. I don't know, I was feeling lucky maybe, and you know, I actually did it. So it was $41 for 5 miles. The math on that is around, what's that? 6 times 5, that's 35. So what's 7 times 5? Isn't that like 42? So it's around, this was around like $6 a mile right here. Yeah, around $6 because 7 times 5 is 42, right? 7 times 5. Oh no, that's 30. Hold on, wait a minute. So what's 6 times 5? That's 30. Oh, okay. So 7 times 6. Ah, okay. Okay, I was getting the numbers wrong. Okay, so $7 a mile then. Yeah, so it's around $7 a mile actually for this right here. Yeah, so if we do 7 times 5.57, what, brother? 7 times 5.57, that gives us 38. It says 38, but it's came out to be 41. But if we do 6, that'd be 42. So it's 7. It's around $5. It's around high. It's $7 or something like that, right? 7 something a mile or whatever. But that's the math on that. And like I said, I took a chance on it, and actually somebody did not steal this order from Popeyes, and actually Popeyes actually had the food, and they actually had it together, surprisingly, at this location that I for sure blacklisted, because I've had issues before at this location where they were out of chicken. Somebody already picked up the order, and you know, the person stole it obviously because it was back in the queue, so that means that, you know, I couldn't pick it up at all. But yeah, surprisingly, the location had it together, even though they were crazy busy. The wait time wasn't too long. It took 40 minutes. So, I mean, 40 minutes for $41. I mean, that's $1 a minute. I mean, I can't really kind of complain about that, really, at all. The stop wasn't bad at all. Like I said, they had the customer's food. So, and I got paid, I had to wait to see if the customer wants to tip extra, because that is just like the estimated amount of what they pre-tipped or whatever. But they can always change the tip. Usually it's a little bit more. Sometimes it's the same thing. But this is the 2 Forest Street, as it shows right here, 800 Forest Street. $31 for 9 miles. So that one's pretty good right there. Over $3 a mile here. Yeah, over $3 a mile here. $18 for a tip. That's amazing. Yeah, I can't even complain about that. So tonight is I guess is where I'm getting lucky, and they're actually trying to pay me. And this is exactly what I was talking about before, where yeah, these are the trips from this morning that I was talking about. And these are the days when, like I said, there's nothing. Like if I go to not the calculator, the calendar, right? You go to the calendar, there's nothing going on today, right? There's nothing. Valentine's Day already passed. President's Day, I didn't even know President's Day was on the 16th. I didn't even know that at all. But there's nothing going on today. And then, like I said, it's just a random day. It's the weekend, but I've recorded videos on the weekend, and there's not money like this at all. And they just, like I said, they pick random days to want to pay you, and pay you pretty decently. And I guess, and this is what I was talking about before, like, they want to throw you a bone, like, and today I guess they want to throw me a milk bone before they feed me scraps for the rest of the month or whatever and shit. Because usually whenever they're paying this good, it's not consecutive days where, you're going to get some money. So you're going to get some money for today to pay whatever bills that you need to pay, and then you're going to be struggling for the rest of the other days or whatever until they want to give you another milk bone, right? So like I said, today is my day for a milk bone, right? Like I said, they do this shit every single time. But this was from this morning, from a restaurant called Bomb Biscuit. Pretty simple, wasn't too hard to do. It said it was 30 minutes. It was a little bit of a wait, and then also the customer was kind of far away or whatever, but it wasn't too bad. I had a Krispy Kreme order, but this was a double order. This was Krispy Kreme and Krispy Kreme, and there's another order paired with this. Shit, I don't remember, but it was something else paired with this order. But like I said, I don't remember. But yeah, that one was $26.50 or whatever. They tipped me really nicely. Starbucks, this was a decent order right here. It wasn't too bad. Like I said, that was on Saturday morning, as you guys can see from it. We're at Saturday, February the 21st, right? That was then. But yeah, like I said, I made some money earlier on Saturday morning or whatever. So right now we're just trying to make some money or whatever. That's, like I said, how much I have right now. And also, for the people that I guess believe that that there is, you don't get good orders for, let me show you guys again, for people that have acceptance rates like this right here, 4% acceptance rates, 8% cancellations or whatever, which is extremely down from what I had before. Like I said, some people believe that you need to have high ass acceptance rates, like you need to accept almost 50%, 70% of stuff, to get good orders. But like I said, maybe in other markets, like I said, it's different maybe. But out here, like in Atlanta, the lower your acceptance rates, yes, it might be a little bit harder or whatever to get the good orders, maybe. But in my personal experience, the good orders are in the back of the queue every single time. They're always at the back of the queue. You just have to decline, for the money to be on your time. Decline. And, that's how you kind of find those good paying orders or whatever. But other than that, acceptance rate, that doesn't even matter at all. Acceptance rates does not matter. It's cancellation and completion rate, which both on Uber and DoorDash mean the same thing, where as long as, you're not canceling orders frequently and not completing jobs or whatever, that you said that you're going to do by accepting them, then, there's no problems at all. Like I said, you can decline all you want. You can have 0% acceptance rate. I've had it before for multiple weeks, multiple months. Years ago, I've had 0% acceptance rates, where I didn't even use Uber some months. I didn't even use DoorDash some months. You're a contractor. You don't have to accept the work. You can choose to do the work if you want to, as long as you haven't accepted that work, but once you accept the work, then that's when it becomes a problem and stuff like that. But if somebody offers you the work and you choose not to do it, you don't have to do it. You're a contractor. Like I said, they're not paying you as an employee where you have to take orders. You have to do the work. You don't have to do the work. You could choose to do the work if it works in your favor, because it works in the favor of the company. If since they want the money too. You as a contractor work as a business also. You're operating a business. You have expenses. You don't file W-2s anymore. You file 1099s. You work as a business now. So you have to choose what works best for you. But yeah, that's that. My star rating 4.98. Satisfaction is 99%. So I don't know where our customer gave me a 1 thumb down or whatever, but whatever. I please all my customers. All my customers pretty much, most of them don't hate me or whatever. The vast majority of them don't hate me. So, that's always a plus in my book. I already said thank you for that. I already said thank you for that already. I already said thank you for that too. Yep, I already said thank you for that too. So I want to see if I can possibly make around 150. So I'm going to turn this back on and see if I can make, it says I did make 150 right here, but that's not on the day. Or is it? I think it was. No, it is because I did, like I said, I worked earlier Saturday morning or whatever, and then so I probably did make 150 or whatever already, but that was earlier in the morning money. I need money now since I had to spend the other money or whatever that I made in the mornings, in the morning on Saturday morning or whatever. So damn, they're trying to pay me. Like I said, as you guys can see, they're trying, but like I said, they could do better. They can do better. I don't want that either. They could definitely do better. $10 for 5 miles, that's pretty decent. $2 a mile, but not right now. You guys could do a little bit better. I'm not going to go to Buckhead at all. I'm not going anywhere else because these areas are like the light shaded colors or whatever, so that means they're not even busy at all. I'm going to be waiting for forever for an order. Right now, it's Midtown that's the busiest, and that's where I am right now. Checkers, no, because they have extremely long wait times. No. We're not doing all that right now. So, what I can do is I'm at a Quick Trip right now, just, waiting for a good order again. I'm pretty much in the heart of Midtown. So, you know, just waiting for them to kind of want to pay me. What are they? Some people really can't drive for real. I swear. I don't understand. But like I said, I'm just waiting for, you know, them to want to pay me. And like I said, that's how you have to treat them. Because if not, they'll treat you like you're not worth nothing. You know, as you guys can see on my screen. But once you train the algorithm to say, no, I want to get paid and not played, then they'll want to pay you. Just keep on declining. And you shall see. The truth shall set you free, right? This is garbage right here. This one is garbage too. This one's also garbage too. So yeah, I'm just waiting right now for them to want to pay me. Just kicked back and relaxed, you know. So you're gonna have to drive and waste gas because they're trying. If they want to pay me, they can pay me. Like I said, as you guys can see from my past orders or whatever, they're gonna pay, and I want to play. So. But for right now, let's see if Amazon has anything amazing for me. I mean, they kind of do. I mean, some of it are actually really good here. This one's actually really good. $96 for 3.5 hours. Not too bad at all. $85.50 for 3 hours. That's not bad at all either. But yeah, some of these shits is not bad. You know what's so crazy too? Is that if Uber and DoorDash are paying, Amazon's gonna do the same thing. So it's almost like they're all in cahoots with each other. Where it's like all of them are like, these days we're not gonna pay, but then these other days we are gonna pay or whatever. I don't know. But as you guys can see, Amazon wants to pay me too. Pretty decently. This is pretty. What in the world? Are they fighting in the street? I'm not gonna do that right now. That's crazy. They just jumped out the car and started fighting. They just jumped out the car and started fighting. Or no, I think no, they're just having a little. Oh no, they're just having a little twerk contest at the light. I thought they just jumped out the car and started fighting, but they're, I guess, fighting. Their cheeks are fighting each other right now because I guess they're shaking. You know, yeah. But I do like this Amazon block right here. I probably might stop. Oh. Oh, man. Let me take another chance with this right here. And the time right now is 3:51 a.m. Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. So I tried to pick up that order from Wingstop, and I should have known, but the restaurant was closed or whatever. Should have thought about it because at the time I'm like, I don't think Wingstop goes to like 4 a.m. in the morning. I don't know a Wingstop out here in Atlanta that stays open till 4 a.m. So that's garbage there. And all these trips from Amazon, I wish I could take, but I can't make it to the station. It's already 3:50 in the morning, and they're talking about making it there by 4 a.m. I can't make any of these by any of these times that they're trying to give. Head off for all these good trips. I wish I would have seen it earlier, but No, I don't want that right now. We can do something else. I think we could do something else that'll pay us a little bit better. Nope, not that one either. You're so close, so close. Don't want that one either. You're so close. I know you can do it. I know you could. No, don't want that one either. Like I said, this is what they do. Like, they'll throw money at you. Literally, they'll throw money at you. Like, so that means that there is definitely money, but and it's just like I said, it just doesn't make any sense to me that they pick and choose the days to throw the money at you, and then the days that they do throw the money at you, it's almost as if like there's just a random injection of money. Like, everybody just randomly comes up in money on a certain day of the month. Like, everybody just has a stimulus check that got sent to them every single month at a certain day of the month. And I'm like, how? Every day? Every month? Like you guys pick and choose when to pay. And I'm like, but, and when I ask my customers or whatever, like, how much they paid for their orders or whatever and stuff like that, they'll be like, well, they're charging a crazy amount for delivery fees. I'm like, well, I don't know how they're charging y'all all these crazy amounts for delivery fees, and I only got, this amount or whatever. So I don't know, man. It's crazy that they're like stealing from the customer and then only trickling down the little crumbs to the driver or whatever that they choose to pay the driver. They don't give the driver the whole delivery fees all the time. They pick and choose, like I said, the days that they want to pay. Like I said, they're throwing money at me right now, which they haven't in a while, but some of the offers just I don't care to take or whatever because they're not good enough for me right now. And I know, like I said, what they can do and what they're capable of. Like, this is shit. What they're definitely capable of whenever they want to actually pay. And, they need to try a little bit harder. And that's what we're doing now. We're training the algorithm to tell them, try harder, do better, buddy. So that's what I'm basically doing right now, is training them to do a little bit better. I gotta head back out to Midtown or whatever, but I'm probably gonna stop driving or whatever, because I've been driving for a while or whatever, because like I said, some of the rates are just not doing it for me right now. Waste gas and just keep my tires spinning or whatever to create extra expenses. So there's not any orders that I'm kind of gonna accept because they're not of my liking. Then, like I said, I'd rather park my car or whatever and save gas, save money that way. It's cheaper to keep her. Let's just remember that slogan. It's cheaper to keep her parked. It's cheaper to keep her safe. So that's a no-no. I'm not going out to Decatur. Where's my charger at? This is a no-no. Right now I'm in the Buckhead area, like how I showing now. I'm outside the zone. I gotta turn around to go back into the Atlanta zone or whatever. I'm not too far out from Midtown, but the wing stop that Uber took me to was actually out here in Buckhead. So I gotta just find my way back to the city real quick and see if there's anything that I like out there again. Go about it like that. But yeah, I'll catch back up with you guys a little bit later. It's 4:04 or 4:05 a.m. Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. And right now I decided that it looks like that the momentum has died down for definitely DoorDash. There's nothing time right now is 4:35 p.m. Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. No, we're not doing, what was that, like 2 or 3 people? I don't even freaking know. That's crazy. I hate when they do that, when they know that I can do that same price for one person. Ah, man. But yeah, I'm actually back out here in the city. They're throwing out orders like crazy right now. Like I said, I don't know what is going on today. I was out here earlier this morning or whatever, as you guys seen. And you know, they're just throwing out orders randomly on this Sunday. Like I said, all it is just the 22nd of February. It's not anything special. You know, there's nothing on the calendar that shows that it's a special day for anything special. But for some odd reason, like I said before, they like to just throw out money and pay you for whatever reason. Juicy crab on Howell Mill. Oh my God. This is fine right here. This is fine. I'll do that, bro. I'll do that. So Uber wants to throw out money, bro. We'll get it. We'll get it. So that's what we'll do there. We gotta. What are they doing? I don't understand what they're doing. We're gonna do like this here. Did she just get out the car? What in the world? She just bail out the car in the middle of the street? Oh no, okay, never mind. No, she was a rider. I was like, I thought the freaking driver of a car got out the freaking car and just bailed out, like in the middle of the street. But no, it was a passenger or whatever. I was like, dude, I be seeing weird stuff out here, so sometimes shit just doesn't even surprise me at all. I'm just like, bruh, I don't know, I be seeing weird shit out here in Atlanta. But what we're gonna do is, like I said, pick up this order. I just finished doing an Amazon route. It was supposed to have been from 12:15 p.m. today till 5:15. So it was supposed to have been a 5-hour route, but literally, it only took 3 hours, 3.5 hours at that. I was paying $117 for it. So I mean, it's, I don't know what. I think the math on that is like $30-something. I think so. Well, the drive to get to the customer was kind of around 30 minutes. The first customer, yeah. So really, it only took me 3 hours to do the entire job, honestly. So yeah, it's around $30 an hour or so. Amazon paid me or whatever to do that route, and it was actually really easy, really easy. It took me out to like Dallas, Georgia. Super easy. Sometimes Amazon will cut you a break and, like, you know, like I said, so the times that Amazon estimates for, like, they're not even estimates. Sometimes they don't have routes that are actually what the times are, like the blocks that you accept are or whatever. So like I said, I just got done supposedly supposed to be doing a 5-hour block. I'm not complaining at all, and it only took me 3.5 hours, but actually 3 hours to actually do the actual job. Like I said, I'm not complaining, but they still pay you the same amount. You know, as a contractor, you get a flat rate or whatever. This is no right here, a no. But yeah, I like when, you know, sometimes Amazon will, you know, like I said, be nice enough to you to, you know, that they'll give you routes where you don't actually have to do that much work, and you still get paid the, you know, the money that you see or whatever. You know, it's pretty cool like that. So I do got another Amazon block later on or whatever. It's just a few dollars or something like that, so it's not supposed to take too long. So I'm gonna do that, and, you know, like I said, do some Amazon, I mean not Amazon, but some Uber and DoorDash or whatever. Like I said, they're still trying to throw orders at me while I still got Uber still running, and this is straight shit right here. $9 for 6 miles. They could pay a lot better for that. That's not what I do at all. But yeah, what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually pause you, right? Trash. $4 between 2 customers. I mean, I declined that shit quick as fuck, but like, but it's just like, how the fuck do you like split between, like I said, 2 customers $4. How do you split that, bro? How does only 2 customers pay $2, bro? And that can't be the tip, bro, but it could be the tip, because I've seen customers on some orders only tip in a few cents, like 76 cents or whatever, or some weird shit like 35 cents or whatever. I'm like, sometimes, or like $1. Besides the time in 2023 where, you know, Uber was actually stealing the money or whatever, but you know, sometimes I'll be seeing on trips where like customers be tipping $1 or whatever, and I'll be like, sometimes I'm like, you know, I get it, and I'm thankful for the gratuity, but I'm like, at a certain point when you're only tipping that amount and it doesn't even reach a certain amount for, you know, a standard gratuity or whatever, I'm like, sometimes it's almost better for you guys as a customer to just keep your money, because I'm like, you know, that $1 is going straight to taxes probably. So maybe you might have helped me out with my taxes a little bit, $1 for taxes or whatever. But I'm like, I would probably be more grateful to customers that only tipped $1 if they just kept $1. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel more happier to know that you kept an extra $1 in your pocket. You know, like I said, I'm not feeling like I'm entitled or whatever. Like I said, I'm not feeling like this is straight shit. How do you do 2 customers for $2.40? How? But like I said, I'm not feeling like, you know, I'm ungrateful or whatever, you know, for the money that I do get from my customers. But at a certain point, like I said, it's like, if you're not even, you know, gonna tip the standard, which, you know, there is a certain standard when it comes to tipping or whatever, you know, in the industry, it's like, why even do it? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's cheaper to keep her, and I'm gonna keep on, like I said, keep on with that slogan or whatever. It is probably cheaper to keep your money. It's cheaper to probably park your car and not drive it, especially if there's no money out. You know, like I said, these are my slogans that I do live by. You know, it's cheaper to keep her. So, you know, the customers that only want to tip $1 or something like that, you know, I'm like, I'm thankful for it, but at the same time, it's probably better for you to keep that $1 rather than give it to me, because like I said, it's probably going to be expense money anyway, or just go to the taxes, which is an extra expense. So, you know, like I said, it will make me a lot happier to know that you saved money, because that's what I try to do for my customers anyway, especially when I do my shop and pay orders. Just try to help them save $1. So, but yeah, I'm gonna do this order or whatever, and I'll catch you guys later. Okay. Alright, so the time right now is 4:56 p.m. Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. I just finished that what is it, juicy crab order, and then so much shit was hitting my screen, and then now I got this farm burger order. I actually gotta end this right here. Took only 3.5 miles for that. I think $14 for the juicy crab order. So really good. I don't have a problem with those types of numbers at all. Now it's for Scroober, and this farm burger order is $10 for a mile. So not any problems at all with these numbers at all. I have no issues with $10 for a mile. That's pretty much $10 a mile. I don't have a problem with that. Those are the types of orders that I like. They're short, easy. I kind of recuperate all my money pretty quickly, you know, and not have to get into different types of traffic in the city or whatever, you know, driving long distances and shit. You know, like I said, it's about getting your money and getting off the road. It's not about, you know, staying on the road all fucking day long and, you know, trying to get into accidents or, you know, avoid all the bad drivers. You know, it's not supposed to be like a dodge and catch type situation. It's supposed to be like I said, get your money, get off the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just as simple as that. Get your money, get off the road, because you shouldn't be on the road for that long. Like I said, in my previous videos I made years ago, insurance says the longer that you're on the road, the more likely that you're gonna be into an accident. That's pretty much true, because, well, out here in Atlanta, I mean, you can get into accident by just stepping into your car. People are hitting parked cars and stuff like that. You know, it's really sad. So I said, it's just drive as safely as you can. You know what I'm saying? Get the best orders that you can. Make your time worth your money. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just be accepting, you know, like low paying offers and serving customers that don't appreciate you, because like I said, this stuff costs you, whether it costs your time, it costs you your car, you know what I'm saying, it costs you just different types of expenses like gas. You know, like I said, accept what is in your best interest. You know, like, do whatever it takes for the order to be in your best interest. Because like I said, that's all I'm showing that I accept. I'm accepting things that are in my best interest as a business owner. That's what any business, any profitable business would do, is accept things that are in their best interest to make some type of profit off of it. You don't make a profit by taking losses. Losses are not in your best interest for a business that's trying to make profit, you know? So like I said, be as profitable as you can by accepting things that you deem profitable or that you see is worth your time, worth your efforts, and worth the appreciation that your customers are going to give you for doing a task that they could possibly be doing themselves. You know, like I said, this does go a long way because it's about convenience. Like I said before, like, convenience is different from something that's not as convenient, you know? So like I said, there needs to be a level of appreciation from your customer where, you know, it's thank yous, or, you know, the customer's got to just, you know, pay you a little bit more, you know, simple things like that. But it does come down to, it's a convenience type thing. You are a business, you're in here to make for a profit, and you know, so just get it done, make the best money that you can, and get off the road. The time right now is 5:17 p.m. Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. I just finished with that farm burger order, and what's it called? Now I'm about to go and pick up another order. This order is from a place called Atwood's Pizza Cafe or whatever. It's paying $15 for 4 miles. Like I said, well, somehow, I don't know, they're giving me a milk bone right now, and it's consistent. I think I don't think I worked too much on Friday, but Saturday, so yesterday, and then today, it seems like they're going to be giving out milk bones or whatever pretty consistently. For that farm burger order, we went 1.8 miles, so almost 2 miles or whatever, for $10, I think that farm burger was. So still, what is it, $3 a mile, $4 a mile, something like that? Yeah, around $4 a mile, or actually $5 a mile, or yeah, $4 a mile, somewhere like that. Yeah, $4 a mile. So I'll stick with like $4 a mile or whatever, but still good in my books. I mean, it's still pretty decent. I'm not even complaining. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and pick up this order. This is $15 for like 4 miles. Still not bad at all. Over $3 a mile, or yeah, $3 a mile, pretty much. Almost $4 a mile. Not bad at all. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. The time right now is 5:57 p.m. Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. I just finished dropping off that Atwood's pizza order. Pretty easy. Customer was really cool. No problems with that. So a nice $15. The miles says it was actually for 5 miles, so $15 for 5 miles or whatever. So still $3 a mile. Doesn't matter. I'm cool with that rate. You know, not a really long wait time. Right now we have 2 pickups. It's move that out the way. It's 2 pickups. One from a Yepa and Company from the Beltline, and then Edgewood Pizza. So 2 customers. This is paying $22 between the 2 customers. I don't know what each customer paid exactly, for real. But $22 between 2 customers going, I think it was 5 miles or 6 miles or something like that. So still with this one, this is like almost, yeah, $3, $4 a mile or whatever. So like I said, right now they're throwing me a bone, and whenever they want to pay, they're gonna pay. They're trying to, you know, shove shit down my phone or whatever, you know, shit down my screen. But like I said, once you start to kind of cherry pick this shit and pick out what's the rosiest, what smells the best, you know, you can tell the algorithm how you want to be treated. You know, you don't have to take the shit and then think that, it's gonna get better, because it doesn't. Once you accept shit, they're gonna flush shit down your phone the whole way around. Like, they're like, oh, you actually want to eat this? Take it then. We're gonna throw a big large turd for you, and that's gonna go down your screen, a big large turd. I'm talking about, this thing is gonna stink. Like, the next order that you get, it's gonna be nothing but big ass, like, green turds, not even brown turds. I'm talking about discolored turds. Those are the fucking worst. Like, when the shit's discolored, that some shit's going down. Yeah, there's definitely some microorganisms in that shit too. Like I said, whenever it's green, yeah, you're like, no, this is not digesting right. But anyway, like I said, they're trying to treat me right now. Like I said, they're throwing me a milk bone. I don't know what all is going on in the city, but so far they're trying to pay me or whatever. These are the days that I kind of make decent money, but like I said, it's not consistent. They choose whichever days that they want to pay, when knowing that most of these orders, like, if people are ordering, that means that they're paying. So that means that they have to be taking money off the top. Uber has to be either taking money off the top or something, because there's no way that whenever it's busy and customers are ordering like crazy, and then there, for some reason, it's not showing tips. Like, something doesn't add up there. Like I said, because right now customers are ordering like crazy, and it's, like I said, it's not even a holiday. So like I said, I think that the apps are shaving money off the top, taking tips and just giving you the bare minimum of like $3 and $5, and that's why you guys see all the freaking orders on my screen, like $5 going for 2 customers or whatever, going 17 miles or whatever, weird stuff like that. Like, how does that even happen? Like I said, I think that they have to be shaving money off the top or something. That has to be something, a phenomenon going on with that, because there's no way that some days, whenever the customers, like hella customers are ordering, and then they pay, and then some days when hella customers are ordering and then they don't fucking pay, like as if the customers aren't tipping, or as if everybody that's ordering hella orders just all consecutively just don't have fucking money to order, but they're ordering shit, and then, like I said, days like this where there seems to be consecutive orders, but like I said, it's not a holiday or nothing like that, but consecutive orders, and everybody now has money. That doesn't make any sense. That literally does not make any sense at all to me. Like I said, they pick and choose which days to give you money and shit. Like, they pick and choose when to throw you a freaking milk bone, bro. Like I said, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I'm like, this does not make any sense. How some days they want to act like the customer has money, and then some days all the customers don't have no fucking money, bro. What is everybody ordering for? And like I said, the people that naturally just don't have the money to be ordering, like I said, I've already talked my statement on that. Like I said, I think customers like that need to order to pick up their food, like not order for delivery. They need to order to pick up, you know what I'm saying? Because you guys, the customers that are doing the deliveries that don't have any extra convenient money to pay the delivery fee and stuff like that, it just makes more sense for you guys to kind of order to pick up you guys' stuff, because it's not working right now to kind of do the whole order for delivery if we're not going to tip, or we're not going to show appreciation to the drivers and stuff, so. But like I said, that's my personal opinion on orders, and as being a driver, a convenience driver, that as a customer, sometimes you to pick your battles in a way, especially if you want your order, because there's a lot of customers that just don't get the order, because of the fact that they haven't tipped. And if you guys remember, DoorDash sent out a forum, or like a little disclaimer that if you don't tip, you're probably not going to get your order for real. So that's just going to sit cold on the rack. So like I said, it's true. I mean, if you ask any driver in the community, and like I said, I'm even stating it in my video here, for the record, that if you don't tip, I'm for sure not going to pick it up at all. So that's a definite, and it's no shade. It's just, as a business, I just don't see it worth my time if you don't see it worth your time to kind of tip your driver. And like I said, I understand that it's that's trash. I understand that it's kind of backwards because you have to pay more upfront in order to get the service, but you don't know how good the service is actually going to be. So I do understand that for sure, like from a customer standpoint. But unfortunately, because the way that this industry kind of works, and I guess because Uber does allow you to change your tip around or whatever, and then, you know, I think both Uber and DoorDash allow you to get your money back, especially if you didn't get good service, you can report it. And I think that they do reimburse you somehow, some way. I think there is some type of customer satisfaction somewhere in there. But unfortunately, because the business model is set up to where you pay a small delivery fee at first just for the service, so that delivery fee mainly goes to the app. A lot of times the delivery fees don't even go to the driver, and if it does go to the driver, Uber still shaves off a certain percentage off of that too. So they're taking money all around from the customer, and then it has the customer, you know, you guys as the customer, ship out more money, you know, to go to the driver that sometimes doesn't go to the driver, you know. So it makes it super difficult because the customers are being gouged, and I'm not for that at all. But this is unfortunately how Uber and this corporate system is, you know, going or whatever, you know. So maybe we can make a difference by, you know, making our own apps or whatever or something. But until then, that's how this system is going to go, you know. Or we could do private deliveries or something like that somehow, like making our own systems and getting away from like the corporate greed. But until then, I mean, Uber and DoorDash, whatever you want to call it, is all we kind of have to kind of, you know, serve customers. So, but that's all. I'm about to go and pick up these orders, and I'll get back to you guys later. The time right now is 6:43 p.m. and it's Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. I just finished that double order from Yepa and Edgewood Pizza that was paying, I think, somewhere from like, it was like $22 for 5 or 6 miles. But we're gonna go over the payouts in a little while or whatever. Right now I got a new order going to this restaurant, Jesus. I don't know how to pronounce that, bro, so I'm mutilating the name, but it's this restaurant. It's paying $14 going 3.5 miles. So not bad at all. Like I said, they're throwing me a little milk bone right now. They're throwing me some milk bones. I think it's only for this weekend, because usually whenever they're paying this good and they're showing that the customers have money, it's literally only for a weekend, or it's literally only for a day. And then, you know, you'll get the consistent orders again, you know, sometime later that week, and then it'll all turn to shit. And I'm like, where did all the money go? And how are you guys still ordering food if you still have no fucking money? Like, how are you? Like I said, this is what they do. They throw money out, and then they want to pay you, and then the rest of the week they don't want to pay you at all, even though there's still orders being sent out. Like how you guys seen in my other videos where there's crazy orders being sent out, but they're not paying shit. Weird stuff like that. It's like, how does this work at all? You know, like this doesn't seem to be working, especially not in the driver's favor. And then also it's a problem because of the not being transparent and stuff, like where Uber they're not transparent with how much the customer actually paid for the order, and then how much the customer tipped if they did tip, and then, you know, how much is going to Uber versus how much is, you know, going to you as a driver and stuff. You know, all they show you is just an amount, and you're supposed to accept it. You can't rebuttal, you can't counter it or whatever. You know, it's either you accept it or you don't accept it, you know. And that's cool. That's a partial way of, you know, doing contracting, but that's not the real way. The real way is somebody giving you an offer, and you can choose to, you know, decline it, or you can counter it with a counter offer, you know, to better suit whatever your needs are, what better suits the company's needs, you know, for the income that you're looking for, or the revenue that you're looking for the company, because those terms are different. Income and revenue, those two terms are classified as two different terms when it comes to business. You know, income, businesses don't generate income, they generate revenue. An individual gets an income, like a living individual gets an income. companies produce revenue. It's like I said, when you study taxes and stuff, you'll know that there's two different terms or whatever. It's a whole legal thing. Like when you go to court or whatever, you have to use legal jargon to kind of, you know, win your cases and, you know, fit in with, you know, what you're trying to get done or whatever in court. It's about legal jargon or whatever, you know, so it's certain terms that you have to use or whatever to kind of, like I said, get things done in certain atmospheres or environments or whatever. Yeah, like I said, a lot of times the apps don't want to pay or whatever, but like I said, they're trying to pay me now. I'm gonna go over everything at the end, because unfortunately I can't screen share at the same time while kind of showing the orders and stuff like that right now, because of the fact that, well, I don't like to include the customers' addresses in the in my videos at all. I believe in protecting privacy. So if you guys do see like a overlay or like a kind of mask that I put over my videos, it's not like a glitch or it's not like a problem with like YouTube or whatever. It's simply because I'm protecting the customer's address and stuff like that. I believe in privacy of my customers and stuff. Even in my previous videos, you'll see like that I have a mask or whatever on my videos to protect the customers' addresses and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll be protecting the customers' names. It just depends, especially if like they're putting like the whole name or whatever. I say it's just about privacy and just how I operate. You know, I don't put everything out there, you know, because not everybody has the best intentions for everybody else. So, you know, me as a business, me as a driver and stuff like that, you know, I believe in, you know, protecting my customers' information as much as possible. That's just me. Some people, you know, don't really too much care about it, I guess, in a way. But like I said, I personally care about it because that's how I would want to be treated. Like, you know, protecting my information, you know, from fraud or, you know, just people, you know, if they want to just, you know, I don't know, just do weird stuff with her. They literally, people could get crazy amounts of information just from your name. You know, just like, you know, your whole government first and last name or whatever. There's a whole lot of information out on the internet just from that or whatever. So, you know, and then also just protecting my customers' addresses, you know, just so, you know, nobody crazy just shows up to a random house that, you know, even though, yes, the addresses are kind of public, you go into Google Maps, but in my videos, I'm just like, protecting my customers specifically, so nobody decides to show up to, you know, somebody's house because they're just curious, you know. It's just precautions like that I just take or whatever, just as a business, you know. Might be overdoing it, but that's just me. Like I said, I do care about privacy. I think that it is a part of our amendments and stuff. It's privacy, or our Bill of Rights or whatever is part of our right for privacy, just like it is a government right for privacy. You know, they want to be private about everything. You know, the citizens have privacy too. There is a right for privacy. But yeah, like I said, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go and pick up this order from this restaurant here. Everything's actually in Atlanta. It's keeping me all in one place. They're trying to send me orders that are just straight shit that aren't paying that much at all. It's still keeping me in the same area, but the orders they're just not paying nothing right now. Like, they're trying to pay me $8 to go, you know, 6 miles or 5 miles or whatever. $8 to go. Like, some of them are $8 to go 2 miles or whatever. But I'm like, I can get way more for those same 2 miles as you guys seen, and you know, in some of my recordings or whatever. I can get, like, especially on these busy days, like I said, especially on these busy days where they want to pay, they're going to pay you. Literally, they're going to pay you. Out here in the Atlanta market, from like I said, doing this for so long, you don't need to accept like the little tiny $8 for 2 miles or whatever, even though that is still good. But like I said, it's about opportunity cost. You still have to think about what the restaurant's wait times are. You know, usually is the order ready, you know, blah, blah. And like I said, especially when they're trying to pay you, you can probably get a way better paying order or whatever that fits more of your time and your efforts and stuff, you know, that can increase the amount of money that you can bring in at a faster rate so you can get off the road. I'm going to keep on reiterating that you get your money and you get off the road. It's not, being on the road all day. Yes, like I said, you can mingle, you can, socialize and, everything like that. This is cool too. It's just 2 items, so we'll do that right there. Like I said, they're throwing bones. I don't know what's going on today. Like I said, it's just a random Sunday. It's just a 20-second. Ooh, wow. Almost an accident just happened. Like I said, get your money and get off the road, because there's way too many people that are trying to get into accidents, and then if you get into a fender bender and then you total out your car, that's it. You can't, make your money no more. And maybe if you have full coverage, you can maybe get it repaired, or you can get another car or whatever, but those kind of depend on the factors of how good your insurance is, and then what was all covered in your policy. So like I said, all those factors just make a big difference when it comes to, like I said, just you getting your money and getting off the road and trying to avoid accidents. Like I said, that is my biggest gripe right now, is avoiding accidents and getting your money. Yeah, like I said, as you can see, I'm just gonna do these 2 orders or whatever, and I'll be back with you guys. The time right now is 7:29 p.m. Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. I just finished those 2 orders from, one from CVS, and the other one from the HSU. I don't know if that's Sue or Husu. I don't know how you say that restaurant, but in total, both restaurants only did 4.8 miles, so less than 5 miles, and that was for, damn, I forgot what the numbers were on those 2 orders, but shit, it was, I think together it was over $4 a mile or whatever, or $5 a mile or something like that. So still perfect for what I'm looking for. Like I said, they're throwing me a bone. They're dipping it like an Oreo cookie into some warm milk. They're making it real sweet and nice for me right now. So I'm liking it, but like I said, they only do this every so often. Right now I have this other order. It's 2 orders. It's one from Subway and then another one from another restaurant, Pizza Hut. Hopefully they got these shits. And it's like $29 for, it's like 8 miles or something like that. So over $3 a mile, almost $4 a mile or whatever. Beautiful orders. Like, I'm making some Monties. This is all I want to do, is just make some monies, buddy. I mean, I'm making money to pay some bills, but it'd be nice if I can make money to fucking have to keep and invest or whatever and save. But for some odd reason, they only want to pay you whenever you have fucking bills. And I'm like, bro, sometimes I want to have money just for leisure purposes, or fucking like to invest into something or whatever. I just don't want to always just only have money because you guys only gave me money for my bills, bro. Like, I'm like, and sometimes that's where you get caught up in like this cyclical process of just only making money to pay your bills and shit, especially now since everything is much more expensive and the money is much harder to come by. So a lot of times you are kind of making money to just pay your bills, so, but it's sad. Like I said, sometimes when I just want to make money to just put back to invest, so the after paying my bills or whatever, and sometimes it's just, you just can't do that at all because you don't have really much left at all, because the shit's gonna come up with needing something else or whatever for whatever reason nowadays, so I don't know, it's crazy. But like I said, this order is paying me real good, like $29, almost $30 literally. It rounds literally to $30. It was like $29 and like 80 something cents or something like that. Like I said, something crazy like that. So gonna do these 2 orders or whatever. Hopefully they have both of them. Hopefully they didn't get stolen, because when they be paying this good, sometimes the shit's beyond some weird stuff, so I gotta wishful thinking. I'm gonna hope that these orders didn't get stolen so I can get my money and get off the road at some point in time. If I can make another 150, something like that, 200, I would be very, very extremely grateful. That the apps actually care about me today, that they're throwing me a real big milk bone. You know, they dipped it in Borden milk, you know, or maybe Horizon milk, you know, the organic stuff, the really good stuff, or maybe Fairlife. You know, Fairlife actually tastes good too. So, you know, they're giving me a nice Oreo cookie dipped in some warm Fairlife, Horizon, or Borden milk, you know, the really good stuff, you know. So like I said, I'm about to do these orders or whatever, get these out the way, and then I'll get back with you guys later. The time right now is 8:16 p.m. Sunday, February 22nd, 2026, and that's garbage. So I just finished dropping off that Subway order and the Pizza Hut order. They said that was supposed to have been what's it called? 8 miles or $29, $30 basically for 9 miles as it shows here. Pretty simple, pretty easy, nothing to complain about. So right now, I gotta get out of this neighborhood and get some gas because I'm really low. And everything is dark as hell out here, bro. You can't see shit. Yeah, 9 miles for $30. Pretty much $3 a mile. I am not complaining at all. Not complaining at all. This is trash. Let me see, hold on, whoops. So, yeah, right now, like I said, I'm gonna be heading to get some gas. I haven't even seen what's on freaking DoorDash at all, because Scroober's been taking up all my time, but you know, because they're actually paying for once, like, in a while. Like I said, they do this shit every time. But like I said, they're giving me my little bone right now, trash. And you know, I'm okay with it. Like I said, it's a nice little milk bone, or a few milk bones that they're giving me, and I'm trash. But right now, as you see, they're trying to shove straight shit down my screen. They're trying to feed me shit right now. They're trying to give me some scraps, but they know that I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that. No, I'm not going for that. You guys know that I want to get paid, and you guys have been paying me, so it's not time for you guys to slack on, you know, the payments. I still need my money, you guys. So we're gonna have to keep up the pace, you know, keep on doing a good job, because I think I've been a good boy. You know, I've been a real good boy. You know, so you guys need to treat me like I've been doing pretty good. I've been helping you guys make some money, because again, without me, you guys would not make any money. You guys do not have automated robots all around conveniently taking orders to people. We are not doing this one though. This is, what part of Atlanta is this even going to? Oh, hell no. Whoa. No. That's all the way out of there. Oh no, my boy. That's a no for sure. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. But yeah, I think I've been doing pretty decently with you guys. You know, making you guys some money, making me some money. So you guys need to treat me a little bit better now. You know, we're having a pretty decent day. Because like I said, if I don't accept the order and nobody else accepts these orders, you guys don't make no money at Uber. You guys don't make no money at DoorDash. You know, so we need to work together to see how we can come to like a median of, you know, we're both gonna win, you know, and then you guys get to pay you guys as shareholders and executives and shit like that. You know, you got, everybody can, you know, get paid or whatever, you know. But I don't know, bro. You guys at Uber and DoorDash have to work out a way where the driver that in the middle makes the money for the company get paid too. You know, we all have to work together to do that, bro. Because I got bills just like y'all got bills up there at headquarters. So, you know, y'all need to get it together and, you know, figure out how you guys are going to split the money still with you guys shareholders and executives, and still pay the drivers enough to still, you know, take out these orders that have to get done so we can all get paid. Like I said, if I don't touch these orders or whatever, nobody at headquarters or you guys as executives, you know, or you guys as shareholders is gonna get paid, you know, because we're not serving the customers. We're not putting money into the system at all right now, you know, trash. So, like I said, we gotta work together as a collaborative, as partners, right? We're supposed to be partners, so we work together. So, a lot of these orders are not showing that we're working together, buddy. So we need to work together as a collaborative to make these things happen. Yeah, I don't think. I think tonight might be a good night. I think I might make my goal again of making my maybe 150, hopefully, possibly. But I didn't get to do my Amazon trip that was scheduled at 8 p.m. But I've already made way more money off of Uber, than I would have made for that second Amazon trip, because I already had an Amazon trip, like I said, I did earlier today. That was only like, this is garbage. That only took me 3.5 hours, or really 3 hours, but it was pretty simple. Garbage. An hour for $28. That's not bad at all. $28 for an hour of work. I guess that's pretty decent, but whatever. $18 we're gonna decline. But that's way too far for that. We can give that to the next guy. Yeah, all this other stuff is, I guess, okay. That starts at 8:30, but I can't even make that at all. I'm not doing that. An hour for Target, $18? No. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna close Amazon out. Amazing Amazon. We're gonna close that out because nope, that price is not crispy enough for the cream. So y'all are gonna have to decline that. I'm gonna head back over into the city to see if things aren't too shitty, and hopefully maybe I can get like a better order off of DoorDash, because it looks like Uber is trying to screw me over and not pay me that much no more. I guess they're getting tired of giving me the money. Nope, that's not enough for a shop and pay order. Not right now. Nope, we're not doing that either. That's trash. Nope, we're not doing that either. No. But yeah, sometimes it can actually be kind of fun to decline all the orders and stuff. Decline. I would do that for $40 for sure. There's not really anything out in Rex, Georgia at all. So $40, maybe even $38 or maybe $35. I might do that. Depending on how nice I'm feeling or whatever, I might do it for that amount. But I'm not doing for a crazy low dollar amount, like a hard straight dollar amount. I'm not doing that. You guys can find you guys yourself another business partner that might take that type of loss, but it won't be me today. Like I said, I'll do that order for like $35. The least I'd do that order for is like $35 or whatever. If I knew Rex was kind of busy right now, Rex, Georgia. If Rex, Georgia was kind of busy, but around the highest, I'll take $40, no questions asked. It's $2 a mile, like I said. As long as it's $2 a mile, that always is gonna meet my quota or my initiative to, work for whoever I'm gonna be working for, which is the customer. I work with Uber and DoorDash, and then but I work for the customer. We both work for the customer. But, as business partners, me, Uber, and DoorDash, and Amazon. We work together. We work together. We work for the customer. We have to serve the customer so we can get the money. Yeah. Damn, they're just sending out straight shit. Who the fuck, bro? What? $9 for 22 miles? Decline. That is straight trash, bro. Yeah, they're flooding my screen with straight trash right now, bro. I guess they got tired of paying me. And they be doing that too. Like sometimes they be getting tired of paying you, I guess, and then you gotta go back down to the back of the queue somewhere where the good orders are at. Somehow try to find them. Some way, somehow. Let's try to squeeze in between here. There we go. Decline that. Yeah, decline. I don't want that either. That's not high enough paying for me right now. You guys can pay me a little bit more. You guys know that. So we're gonna get it together, though. We're gonna get it together. gonna see, maybe Amazon has something for me tomorrow or whatever, maybe late night. I might do like a food delivery or whatever, get paid for that later on. But so far the day's been pretty decent. Like I said, I don't know what is going on today. They got, oh hell no. What is this? What? No, 31, no, that's $1 a mile. I like that rate, but the miles are way too high. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's way too far. No, $31 for 20, that's way too far. Easily, I'll do that for like $50 or whatever. Maybe 45. Like I said, at the lowest, I'll do it for 45 possibly. But no, we're not doing these straight whack dollar a mile trips like that, bro. No. $30 for 25 miles. No. I'll do that for 45, maybe 50. Possibly 50 on the best type of days, but 45 on the low end. I'm not touching that for these low dollar a mile. No, what? No, you guys are tripping. You guys got a sucker. And I'm not even a lollipop, buddy. Like, shit's just crazy, bro. No, you guys are gonna pay me. Yeah, so I'm gonna, like I said, just go around, see. I gotta get some gas too, but I'm gonna go around and see if they got any other money for me or whatever. Hopefully they do, because like I said, I'm still trying to get paid. And I'll catch you guys a little later. The time right now is 9:27 p.m. Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. And I just finished doing 2 orders for Papa John's. It looks like it totaled out to be $21.18. But I want to see. Oh, because they're doing peak pay right now. Okay, because I was like, hold on, go to home screen and go to earnings. It didn't cash out yet. I have to, oh, no, not that. Okay. Here again, I need to do earnings. There's a view payout details. No, that's from the 21st. So I actually have to end this trip, return, because it doesn't deposit until I do like this. So we're gonna end that, and then 21.18. Because okay, now we can look and see payout 21.18 earnings here. So today's Sunday. What is this? No. Hold on. What is this? What? It's not showing it right now. That's so weird. But yeah, it was 2 orders from Papa John's. I don't know why it's not trying to show the orders or whatever. That's so weird. Yeah, just did those 2. Pretty simple. They weren't too far away. And then interesting thing, right? You remember how I was talking about the customers that want to tip $1 for some odd reason? They want to just tip $1. Like I said, I appreciate it, but at the same time, like I said, any customer that just wants to take my advice, I want you guys to just save that money, if it's just $1, because like I said, there's a customer that wants to tip $14, which is, around the standard of what, tipping usually is or whatever, per the order, for the total of the order. But like $1, sometimes it feels like it's a smack in the face a little bit, like somebody gives you a quarter raise, a quarter as a raise or something like that. Like if you already feel that you almost paid enough for like the delivery, like sometimes you never know, but then sometimes the customer, I think, does know that they paid enough for like the delivery fees or whatever, and that, it all goes to like the driver, because usually only customers that only want to tip $1, like, I don't know what sometimes that is. But like I said, I appreciate it, but at the same time, I just wish that customers that would only tip $1 would save their money to go and put it, somewhere else, put it into savings, put it into the stock market somewhere where that dollar could appreciate or something like that. You know, I appreciate the dollar, but I want your dollar to appreciate even more somewhere by building some type of compound interest in it. You know, that's how I just see it. Like I said, sometimes it just feels like it's a slap in the face. But those let me see where that, because we already have 123 now. That's interesting. Yeah, they're really trying to pay me now. Yeah, that, like I said, so here's the Subway order, and the Subway order, and then there's a Pizza Hut order. Yeah, Subway and Pizza Hut together, and it was $29.46 going 9 miles. Like I said, so you know, almost $3 a mile, pretty much. And I'll say thank you for the tip. This is that other double restaurant right here. Actually got tipped a little bit more, so 27 for about 5 miles. Crazy amounts of money right here, like crazy. Edgewood Pizza, $22 for 7 miles. That was for 2 people. I forgot. I think it was Edgewood Pizza and the other restaurant. I forgot its name, but we're gonna say thank you for the tip. Yeah, that's the Atwood's place. $15 for 5 miles. Very nice, very nice. Juicy crab. Oh shit, we actually got more on this. Oh shit. Say thank you, my boy. For 3 miles actually. Yeah, for 3 miles, but I think we already went over this. 3.6 miles. I thought it was, so not bad at all. Farm burger, we did that earlier in the day. We actually got more on that too. Damn, that's crazy. Now my customers loving me. $13 for 2 miles. Bruh, I cannot beat these rates at all. And this is not me trying to show off to you guys or whatever. This is just me showing you guys that, like, sometimes they do pay. Sometimes they do want to give me a bone or whatever and stuff. And, you know, they do want to, freaking, you know, pay me for my time or whatever. I don't know where. Oh wow. Okay, got it. Okay, so the customer from Subway only tipped me $1. That's a smack in the face. It feel like, I guess, in a way, you know. I don't know. Like I said, maybe they were just trying to be nice or whatever. I don't know. But like I said, sometimes to me that feels like it's a slap in the face. Yepa. Exit there. Get all these notifications cleared out. All these notifications cleared out. Okay, don't care about that. How satisfied are you with drive with Uber? Not really that satisfied, buddy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And you guys keep on sending me these surveys, and you guys know that I tell you guys that I'm not really that satisfied, and you guys keep on playing with me. But yeah, anyway, that's gonna be well, that's it for right now. I'm gonna keep on driving or whatever, see how much more money I can make or whatever. So I'll be back with you guys later. That is garbage. The time right now is 11:29 p.m. Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. Garbage. But yeah, right now just garbage. God damn. They're just throwing garbage at me like this is fucking Sesame Street. Like I'm the Grouch. Like, no, buddy. Like I said before, they're throwing garbage at me now like I work for waste management. Like, god damn, so much garbage. Like I'm the trash man. Hell no, buddy. Like, I think being a garbage man actually probably pays more than this shit, but at the same time, like I'm not here to take out y'all's trash, bro. Like, this is so many trash offers right now. But yeah, what I was trying to show you guys was well, DoorDash doesn't have nothing on it, but let me show you guys. I just did a quick CVS order. They're supposed to be paying peak pay right now. It's supposed to be going crazy. Like I said, I don't know what's going on today. It's just a random Sunday or whatever. It's just the 22nd of February. Nothing special at all, right? In Atlanta. Just a Sunday night or whatever. A Sunday day. Trash. But like I said, there's something going on where, like, now for some odd reason, everybody has money. Like I said, I don't understand how it works where everybody somehow just randomly pops up with money. This one, is that McDonald's? I think that McDonald's is busy as hell right now. No, I'm not doing that McDonald's right now. That McDonald's is always busy as hell. Not doing that either. View payout, recent payouts, nope. So yeah, we did the 2118, if it's gonna show now. Which is still not freaking showing. That's so weird. Yeah, the shit's just still not trash. It's still not showing at all. It's still showing the shit from Saturday. It's not showing the $21 for the Papa John's orders. God damn, they keep on sending me straight garbage. Nope. Not. You know, I don't think that it's actually populating either one. So this was supposed to have been the CVS order. It was like $9.50 for like 2 miles or something like that, or 3 miles, I think. $9. It was super easy. It was just one item, super simple. So it looks like we made like $30 off of trash, $30 off of DoorDash, and garbage. God damn. See how they're just sending me like straight trash orders right now, bro? Like, and they're throwing them at me. Like we're in the club. Like, just lighting me up, buddy. Just shooting the club up, my boy. Not like that though, but just straight up, just throwing it at me. God damn, like, man, they're throwing some shit at me right now. Trash. I think that one was actually kind of good, but whoops, my trigger finger just... Sometimes when I get on the ball of declining, I be declining some good shit sometimes, but at this point, I'm like, you know what, it doesn't even matter. But I did some other... Let me see, I did some, if it'll let me show you guys. Almost, I think I'm going to be at my goal in a little bit because trash. That's definitely trash right there. I did this order that I just dropped off. This was like, if it'll load, because I'm in a garage right now, like a parking deck, so the connection might not be the best. But yeah, this is $11 for about 3 miles, so not bad at all. We're gonna thank them for the Planet Bombay. I just did that around 10 p.m. ish sometime. Easy order, $13 for 5 miles, so $2, a high $2 a mile order or whatever, so it's fine with me. Yeah, like I said, certain orders, it's just, I'm like, you know, if it's $2 a mile and they're paying a really good amount or whatever, like, I'll take it. Like $13 for 5 miles, like, I'll take that or something like that. But like, if they're paying, you know, $4 for 2 miles, even though, yes, that's $2 a mile, but that's straight shit right there. Like, you know, like, I don't want that. This one's trash. There's like certain thresholds that I'm looking for that will pay me a good amount, you know, like I said, to reach. No, this is trash. I think, yeah, that's for, it says both orders go to the same customer, but I'm like, no, it's cool. $12 for 5.7 miles. This is $5 for 15 miles. That's trash. Nope, that's trash there. Lucky China 8 restaurant. Nope, that's trash. I wonder if they're gonna raise, because usually if you accept this price, they usually give it to you at that price, or they'll raise it when they actually ping your screen or whatever. So I'm gonna see if they're actually gonna give it to me and then raise the price. Oh, nope, somebody else took it for that price, because sometimes they be raising the price on them or whatever. That's garbage there. That's straight garbage there. Yeah, and there's nothing on DoorDash at all. It's just, I guess Uber has the whole market tonight out here in Atlanta. Yeah. Nope, that's garbage there. Oh, man. God damn, bro. buddy. I can't even get a break from the garbage right now. They're just sending straight up garbage. Like I said, I think that they're getting tired of paying me right now. So right now I'm having to cherry pick the hell out the app. And I don't think that they like it too much. But I'm like, you know what? We're partners, buddy. You're getting money. I'm getting money. We're working through this together. That's what the whole meaning of this whole partnership is. We're working together. We're supposed to be working together, buddy. So, let's see. Get into this traffic here. That is a no-no. That's not for me, buddy. That's not for me. That is definitely not for me. What's going on with DoorDash, bro? They haven't sent me shit. Well, they did actually, but I had to decline it because it was garbage. But they haven't been sending me nothing, especially it hasn't been as busy as Uber or whatever today for whatever reason. I don't know. Like I said, I guess Uber has the market share out here in Atlanta, or maybe they have, you know, some type of promotions for the customers, so the customers are using Uber more or something. But yeah, it hasn't been really that busy on DoorDash at all right now. Like I said, it's saying that it's busy. They're peak paying right now. Everywhere almost has peak pay. This is garbage too. This is also garbage. Throw this away. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. They're just not sending nothing right now. So I'm gonna see if they got anything else. And you know, I might close out my night pretty soon. Nope, not for two people right now. No, I could do that. Or I could do these orders for one person. But like I said, there's only some orders that I'll accept for two people. As you guys seen, I'll accept two people orders. But again, they have to meet a certain threshold for me. If it looks like one person would be paying for that whole price, then I'm like, no, that you guys can get somebody else to do it. Double it and give it to somebody else. You know, because I'm not doing like $13 between two customers to go, you know, 5 miles or whatever. I don't really like doing those types of orders because I can get $13 for one customer to go that same 5 miles. Like this right here, $12 for two customers going 5 miles. I don't like those types of orders. Those orders do not do me well at all. They didn't tip very much, you know, or the split between the, you know, they just didn't tip very much at all. So what would offset that price is if the customers, both customers together, you know, tipped a little bit better. But unfortunately, like I said, because we're in an imperfect world, that does not happen. And then they usually put bad tippers with bad tippers or whatever. I don't feel like I'm not going to Popeyes for that price at all. Not doing McDonald's for that price because they're hella busy right now. Not doing that. Not doing Popeyes at all for that price. And like I said before, I only did that Popeyes off the whim of just taking a chance because I was like, you know what? I'm feeling lucky. I got lucky about it. Was it earlier last night or whatever? Earlier this morning. Trash. But yeah, I was feeling lucky and I actually got the order. You know, I haven't done Popeyes and I don't even know how long. I haven't picked up in a Popeyes in a long ass time. God damn, so much garbage right now. Trash rates. And they're just sending orders out. Nope. But yeah, I decided, like I said, to take a chance. Sometimes I'll be taking chances and sometimes I'll win. Sometimes I might lose. And like I said, it might sound like gambling. Sometimes it is just like gambling. You know, you're gambling with what you're actually gonna get. You gamble every day to see if you're actually gonna make any money. You know, as a business, that's what you kind of had to do. You have to gamble what type of day it's gonna be. Damn, they're just sending straight. How is this? This is. I remember back in my other video. You guys could check out that video. What's it called? It was called Uber in Atlanta. Laugh at my pain. Well, they're kind of doing the same thing here, except in that video, at the Laugh at My Pain video, they were paying way worse. It was just nothing but straight garbage. the whole entire video, and they were spazzing on my screen. Like, it was bad. Like, my screen was actually starting to freeze up at some point in time, I think, in the video. But it was bad, man. They were throwing orders back to back, just straight garbage. But that's what I'm noticing that they're doing again. Like I said, whenever it's busy, and I showed you guys that, you know, whenever it's busy, obviously the customers have money, but they're trying to act like the customers don't have no money. So, you know, I'm like, I'm not gonna play this game with you guys. No, I just said no to that order too. So they're sending orders back through again because other people are declining this shit. I just said no to that same Sweet and Fresh order. Plus, the customers that used to order from there definitely paid very well before. So I'm like, I'm only doing that when I see my threshold being met from the customers that order from places that I know are paying really good, bro. I'm not doing that at all. This is a no-no for sure. Like I said, I'll do this for one customer, but two customers, you know, I'm sorry, I can't do that, bro. Like I said, one customer is not paying enough. You know, you're serving a customer for free a lot of the times on those lower paying orders like that, where it's like $11 for like 3 miles between two customers or whatever. One customer did not pay very much at all, so you're more than likely working for free for one customer pretty much. I've done it before, and I learned my lesson. I was like, I don't know, bro. Not doing that either. So like I said, I'll do it for a certain threshold. You know, make sure my customers are satisfied. I make sure I get everything that they need. You know, deliver their stuff to them in 100%. You know, amazing condition. You know, communicate with my customer and everything. So I'm like I said, I feel as though this is garbage, hot garbage. God damn, a steaming pile of cow manure, buddy. But I feel as though that my time, you know, the way that I service my customers, I feel as though that there is a certain threshold that if it's not met, then I can't serve you. Just like other businesses, if you don't want to pay their price, they're probably not going to decrease their price because you don't want to pay it or can't pay their price. They're just going to serve a customer that can pay their price and see the value that they have to offer. I'm not doing that either. That McDonald's is crazy busy. That's why they're selling hella orders right now. So I'm not doing that at all. But just like any other business, they have a threshold too that they want to meet, that they have to meet, you know, for their expenses. You know, if they can't do that, then like I said, it's pretty much on to the next customer, you know. And that's how, like I said, as long as value is being provided, then yes, you can pretty much tack on whatever rate that you want to, you know, ask for, you know, as long as you're providing value. And like I said, I feel as though that I'm providing value to my customers. You know, like I said, as you guys seen as my ratings, that's garbage. You know, 99% of my customers are completely satisfied with my service. And then I think I got a 4.99 on DoorDash or whatever. So 4.99, which is I guess 99%. Again, 99% of my customers enjoy my service. I'm pretty much almost perfect with all my customers. So like I said, I think I'm providing enough value to get paid for what I'm doing. You know, some people might not think that I'm doing very much, but at the same time, what I'm doing is something that somebody else doesn't want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm essentially providing value. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something that the other person doesn't want to do. So, like I said, it's just providing value, but at the same time, providing a little bit more than what you're taking. So, yes, people are paying me, and yes, I do want more money for what you know, is being offered here. But like at the same time, like I said, it's more about how I service my customer. I feel as though that like I said, the service that I provide to my customers is worth the price that the customer wants to pay. You know, like and if I feel like it's overvalued, then that the customer is paying me over, then I mean, all I can do is just go above and beyond for that customer, because that's their value. They're putting they're putting a value on me that I have to uphold myself to. You know, I have to hold myself up to a higher standard, a higher value, because they want a higher standard, higher value, because that's their money. You know, this is garbage here, but that's just the whole gist of that. Like I said, and whenever you do serve your customers, you just serve them to the best of your ability. You know, just serve your customer well. God damn, they're just sending out straight garbage right now. Oh, that is just straight garbage. That Corvette sounds nice. Yeah, this is, I don't want that right there. They could do better. I'm probably gonna leave the area or whatever. I don't know. Like I said, it's just, there's a lot going on in the city that I'm kind of not understanding at all. Like there's hella police out here right now. Just, they're stopping people like left and right, and it is almost the end of the month, so I guess they're having to meet a certain quota or whatever for the end of the month tickets or whatever. But there's just hella police out, you know, people are out or whatever. Well, they were out a little bit more earlier, but you know, they're still out. You know, everybody's ordering, everybody's at the restaurants and stuff. So like I said, there's some money out, and then, you know, the police are definitely, if the police are out heavy like this, then there's definitely some money out, because they're definitely making some money from the tickets. So, you know, you already know some money's out when they're out. That's garbage. But yeah, like I said, there's definitely some money out right now. And as you guys can see, I mean, they're throwing shit offers at me, which means that, you know, well, shit offers back to back, like spamming on my screen back to back. So you know that there's definitely some money out here, but like I said, it's just, if you're not gonna meet my threshold, then I'm sorry, I can't serve y'all. I just can't serve y'all. It's no shade, or, you know, it's nothing personal against the customers in a way, you know, but it's just like, unfortunately, I just can't serve you because you haven't met my price at all for the work that I'm going to provide to you, like this customer. I can't do that at all, because you're asking me to go way too far, and that money is not gonna be enough for me at all right now. You know, it's just not to go that far, to go to a new area like that, you know. So it's just things like that that I take into consideration, that I think that a lot of other drivers should possibly take into consideration, what types of customers that you serve and at what prices that you serve them. Because you know, the industry standard is that usually the customers that do pay the least are a lot of times the most problematic customers. I've definitely experienced that myself. But that's in any industry, any type of business. You ask them, the customer that wants to haggle you down. Like, yes, there's customers that want a deal, but then there's customers that want to haggle you down to like almost pennies for real. You know, and like I said, those customers are usually going to be your most troublesome customers, where they almost want you to work for free. You know, and I'm cool with customers that like a deal, but customers that want to, you know, haggle you down or whatever, that's a no-no. I can't, it's nothing personal against the customer, but like I said, I just can't serve you for these prices at all. So, like I said, just, you know, taking things like that into consideration, because sometimes you can, and which is what I was saying before, was that, you know, at a certain price, you're dealing with a certain type of customer now, and a lot of times the customer that does pay a lot more, you know, like I said, they're expecting a little bit more, but at the same time their standards are a little bit lower and a little bit more is reality based, because they understand value and stuff, and how much value can be provided for the amount of value that they're providing. Scenic view. Oh, no, that's going out to Smyrna. I'm not trying to leave the Atlanta area right now. But I think that if, you know, drivers take into consideration what customers pay, what price or whatever, they can, you know, alleviate the run-ins that they have with a lot of like the not so appreciative customers, or like the bad customers that will report you, and you'll probably be in danger from, because like I said, it's just this is not me stereotyping or whatever. This is just me providing factual experience and information about, based on certain customers that pay certain prices that you might encounter, that you don't really want to encounter, so like I said, just taking things like that into consideration about when you do business. Like I said, I've learned my lesson from trying to serve customers, thinking that and it's not all customers that's like bad, that are paying low prices or whatever and stuff like that want to pay a low price. Like, yes, I get it, like saving money and stuff like that. Like I said, a deal. I'm cool with customers that want to save money and want to get deals, but at the same time, it's like you have to pay for at least like something. But like I said, it can greatly alleviate a lot of the potential run-ins and the bad experiences that you will get put into based on certain customers and stuff. Like I said, that's why I personally only do a certain threshold of who I want to serve, because like I said, it's about the appreciation, and vice versa of, I appreciate the customers that appreciate me too. And like I said, just providing the best service that you can. But yeah, as you guys can see, they're just shitting on me right now. They're just, like I said, they threw me my milk bones earlier, and I guess they're just giving me scraps, a bit off bones, like somebody already bit on this bone and now they're trying to give it to me. There's no meat on the bones no more, there's no milk inside the bone. So so yeah, right now I think that they're getting kind of tired of paying me, as you guys can see. So this is straight shit here. Yeah, so I might, let me see something. Let me just see something. Because I might, yeah, it's not doing nothing there. Everything else is no, that's trash there. Everything else is paying $1 peak pay or whatever. Not too fond of that. I'm not going out to, what is this, Norcross? Right, North Druid Hills. The Druid Hills be paying pretty decently too. So we can go to like East Atlanta. We can go to the hills. So that's what we're gonna do. We can go out to the hills real quick and see what they got out there. The time right now is 12:57 a.m. and it's now Monday, February 23rd, 2026. Still the same day. It's just a continuance from the 22nd of February. But yeah, I just did a order from CVS from the Druid Hills area. Unfortunately, all the orders were super bad out there, so I took an order that actually brought me out to Forest Park. No, not Forest Park. This isn't Forest Park. It's like East Point. No, it is Forest Park. Yeah, it is Forest Park. Yeah. So it brought me out here to like Forest Park, East Point, or whatever. This area. Not too bad. A little bit further from what's it called, Atlanta. But basically, this order was paying me $18. It was a super easy order. $18 for like 11 point something miles or whatever. But the actual miles on Everlance, the miles tracker that I use, showed that I actually traveled like 13.5 miles for this $18.25. So I made a okay dollar and some change a mile on it. But I'm okay with it because I was like, you know what, this is gonna be my last order of the night anyway. I'm gonna do this, you know, this nice favor for a customer and just take a drive. Sometimes I want to take drives or whatever. I like to just drive my car or whatever, and you know, serve the customer as well. And yeah, so I did that or whatever. So we're gonna end this. Because there's not really any good orders out anymore, and that'll be the last order that I take, because Uber is definitely getting on my nerves though, like for sure. They're just sending me straight like nothing but $6 and some change for 2 people, and I'm not going for that at all. No, I'm not doing that at all, buddy. You guys need to find somebody else to do it. Like I said, it's too busy for these apps to want to be paying still the low fares that they want to still be paying. Like I said, but they can get somebody else to do it, but it won't be me. So on the day we made, let's go to earnings. Let's go to payout details, right? Let's go to history. So we made the 21.18. That was for the 2 Papa John orders. Let's go to calendar data. 21.18, and that's plus that, plus the 9.50. That was from another CVS order, I think I said, plus 18.25 here. So that's 48.93 from DoorDash, right? And then we just got another tip from Ubarts. What trip was this for? Oh, from the Wakchi. Yeah, I also did this order for Wakchi or whatever, $11, 3 miles or whatever. Not bad at all. It's pretty easy. So we're gonna thank the customer for that. Hold on, let me see if all my tips came through at all first. So yeah, that came through. Yeah, so all my tips are in. So we made plus, so 147.74. Oh shoot, whoops. Plus 147.74. So that's 196.67 between DoorDash and Uber. And then we also made plus the 117.50. Oh shit. Damn, that's crazy. I did not know I made that much today. 314.17 between the apps that I have been using. That's interesting. Did not know I made that much. Okay. Well, I am grateful, and I'm gonna show my gratitude by, like I said, that was gonna be my last order. I'm thinking about getting some Chinese food or whatever, because I haven't had my favorite in a little while now. So I'm gonna get some Chinese food, and yeah. So that's been my day or whatever so far. That's how much I made. Just being transparent with you guys between the apps that I use and stuff. So and that's before expenses or whatever, but my expenses weren't too high at all. So it's, I think, minus maybe $20 between gas and snacks or whatever. So, and that's just a high guesstimate, because I don't even think I've spent $20 for expenses for the amount of money that I had to make, because I drive an Altima, so, and they're really good on gas. As long as, the maintenance has been kept up, and, so you'll get really good gas mileage out your Altima. I have an economy car like this if the maintenance has been kept up. But my gas mileage is decent, so don't really spend that much there. So possibly $20, $25 at the most or whatever. So let's see, what is 314 minus 25? still made about $290 on the day. So I'm not even complaining or whatever at all. And that wasn't all day. It's definitely gonna seem like that because of the fact that like the video is sporadically made at different times. I do announce all the times, you know, at the times I start recording, so you guys can kind of almost keep track or whatever. And you know, but I think all in total, I should have maybe made that 290 in about, because I did Amazon, that was like definitely like 3 hours or whatever. And then possibly between Uber and DoorDash, that's probably another, that's maybe like 6 hours between them, maybe 5 or 6 hours between them, 7 at the most. So making the 290, well, not really 6 hours, not really, it can't have been 7 hours, no, it had to have been 5 or 6 hours. So at the most it was about 8 or 9 hours to make $290. So if we do the math on, let's just say we did an 8-hour shift to make $290, so 290 divided by 8, we're at $36.25 an hour today. That's for today though. That's only for today. You know, it's not every day that happens. So like I said, it's just some days where they want to give me a milk bone, and today was one of those days that they want to give me a milk bone. I also want to say, you know, thank you everyone who does view my channel, who does watch my videos and comments on my videos. I'm extremely grateful for you guys. I'm extremely grateful for the people that do share their experiences and that know what's going on and, you know, are looking for a possible change. I definitely want a possible change that can happen for the better of drivers. You know, I believe in like capitalism in the way where like, yes, people can make their money as much money as they want to, but sometimes it's hard to do that when you're not taking from other people. The way I understand capitalism is that in order for you to win, somebody else has to lose. And my reference for that, or my backup for that statement is look at the stock market. You know, the way that capitalism runs the stock market or whatever, where, you know, everybody can make as much money as you want, but usually the people that do win, there's always somebody on the other end that is literally losing every time. The way that you trade money, somebody's money is worth more than somebody else's money, so it kind of doesn't matter. Even if the other person kind of wins, there's going to be a person that's going to be winning even more, and somebody's usually going to lose a lot of the times. So like I said, that's the way I understand it in capitalism, that in order for somebody to win, somebody or multiple people have to lose. That's the way I understand capitalism. But like I said, if we can all collaboratively, you know, make a change somehow, some way with how the system runs, you know, then, you know, we can better our lives in, you know, macro or micro segments or whatever of our lives, you know. But that's all I have for you guys today. I guess it was a pretty decent video, a pretty decent day for me. I hope that anybody that did drive today, that they did make as much money as they could in the best way, in the safest way. You know, I hope that you guys keep having good and, you know, safe days. I hope all the customers that you guys do serve are appreciative of you, and I hope you guys that serve you guys as customers that, you know, are being appreciated by your customers are, you know, are appreciative of that. As a business, as a driver, I hope you guys appreciate you guys as customers as well by serving them to the best of your ability. And honestly, that's all I have to say. Honestly, I'm still making videos about what all is going on out here in Atlanta. I'll still probably make more videos. they won't all be consistent every time. I just like to show a general overview of what I deal with on a almost daily basis. You know, so when you guys do view my videos, this is what I kind of deal with on a daily basis. But if my videos aren't consistent, just know that my videos are gonna be, my days doing these apps are gonna be somewhat similar. I don't know, I might think about new different content that I'm gonna upload to my channel to make it more diverse. But yeah, if you guys have any comments and opinions, you guys can always state them in the comment section. I'm not here to block anybody or delete anybody's comments, you know, as long as they're suitable and, you know, they don't offend anyone and they don't offend me, they're not disrespectful at all. Your comments will be on my channel. You know, I'll always respond to as many people as I can all the time. But yeah, again, I'm thankful for everyone that does view my channel and that does comment, and I hope that this year and the following years bring you guys prosperity and joy and happiness. Thank you, everyone.